With both Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin talking about restoring relations and the potential of a new US-Russian friendship, here's 3 big reasons why this is not likely to happen. Europe and Ukraine. While Donald Trump might be warming to Russia, the European Union and its leaders certainly are not. They're worried about Russian action in Ukraine and about Russian influence in Europe. European leaders see Russia as attempting to meddle in Europe, and traditional fears about Russia still linger. European countries will look to the US for leadership in these issues, just like they did in the Cold War, and especially those countries that are part of NATO. So unless Trump wants to seriously upset EU leaders, it's not likely that he's going to change US policy in Europe. And it's also not likely that European leaders are going to stop asking for help against Russia. The Middle East. Although Trump says he'd like to work together with Russia in the Middle East on issues like Syria, this is not likely to happen. Donald Trump might be right in saying that Vladimir Putin won the geopolitical game in Syria over Obama, but Syria is still only one part of the puzzle in the Middle East. Iran and Russia have been working together in Syria and against the interests of US allies like Saudi Arabia and Qatar, both who have huge arms deals with the United States, some ranging in the billions of dollars. It's unlikely that the United States will side with Iran and Russia over these issues, unless Trump wants to lose billions in arms deals and upset long-standing allies. Europe is also looking at what's happening in Syria and doesn't want to see an increased presence of both Russia and Iran in the region. The stakes are too high for US allies and companies in the Middle East. Both Trump and Putin will continue to compete in this area rather than working together. The Asia Pacific and China. Trump has spoken out against China many times in the run-up to his election. He's said that China is the real reason why the US economy is weak, and is the real threat the United States has to be looking at. China and Russia are close allies and have huge military and economic trade deals, especially since Western sanctions started against Russia. If Trump were to start agitating China, this would worry Putin, who sees China and Iran as some of its strongest allies. Looking at a map of NATO countries, you can see why both China and Russia would naturally find friendship, as they seem to be the ones surrounded. The encroachment of NATO worries both Moscow and Beijing. NATO countries bordering Russia and China are worried about their increased military and economic strength in recent years, and are looking to the United States for support and help in these issues. So unless Trump is gonna antagonize all of its allies and completely undermine NATO, Trump and Putin are not likely to get along in Asia. Trump claiming that he and Putin can reset relations is just not realistically possible, unless there is a massive change to the world's political and geopolitical systems, which have somewhat been the same since the Second World War. Maybe Trump will find a way to do this, but I don't think it's likely. With massive issues like Ukraine in Europe, Syria in the Middle East, and China in Asia, US allies are looking more and more to the United States for help against what they see as a growing Russian threat. Trump is likely to support these allies, and this will undoubtedly annoy Putin. The interests of the United States and Russia are too far apart, and they are competing against each other in the global stage. These issues are really important to the US's allies, and Trump will have to choose whether he's going to listen to them or Putin. I really enjoy making these videos. If you like them, please like and subscribe, and we'll get you with more stories that matter soon. Peace.